Hi, I'm Kamali, taking you through the stories people are talking about and sharing around the world on NewsFeed today. Kendrick Lamar and the N-word. We get into the moment a fan at one of his shows forgot herself and look at the word's use in hip-hop. The inquiry into a fire in a tower block in London begins with some moving words from those affected. Hashtag not by force, why some Tunisians are protesting for the rights to eat during Ramadan. And Wednesday's Animals Doing Stuff will be full of terrible jokes, so stay with us for that. All right, top of our newsfeed. Is it ever okay for people who aren't black to use the N-word? Now, the obvious answer is no, right? But what about when it's in your favourite song and your favourite rapper invites you on stage to perform with him? Well, have a listen to what happened when Kendrick Lamar invited Delaney to accompany him on the track Mad City.
Rules and Crips all got along. They probably got me down by the end of the song. Seem like the whole city go against me. Every time I'm in the street, I hear where you from?
You gotta bleep one single word, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do it?
Yeah, you did it.
I'm so sorry.
Now, he gave her a second chance, but she was so rattled, she fluffed it, so he kicked her off stage. Now, of course, the internet has been blowing up over this. Some people say it's never okay for a white person to use that word. Now, some say it was a setup, and some say the word should be retired from rap entirely. Yvonne Chase tweeted, "Hey Kendrick Lamar, if you invite a fan on stage and don't want her to say the N-word, how about you don't say it in the original lyrics?" She said, "What you wrote in your song. You can't be mad at her, be mad at yourself. Why do you think it's still okay to use that word?" Now the thing is, Delaney wasn't the only fan to be invited on stage that night. This guy Rowan was up just before her. Not only did he kill it, he managed to censor himself. Take a look.
where you from?
Now, Kendrick, who won the Pulitzer for Music last month, has spoken many times about the N-word. In 2015, in an interview, he was asked about its use in the song Iron, explained the apparent African etymology of the word as a definition of royalty. And it's been used in hip-hop since day dot, especially with the growth of what they called gangster rap in the mid-90s. It's been discussed at hip-hop summits by luminaries like Chuck D and Russell Simmons, and with academics like Michael Eric Dyson. Now, I've been listening to hip-hop all my life. That's me. I don't think I was saying the word back then, but I do remember a conversation with my father where he told me he hated hearing the word in music. Now, this girl is obviously a big fan. Is she racist for saying the word? And if rappers who use the words in their lyrics want fans of every ethnicity to buy their music, should they be surprised when a white person uses it too? Well, this is how the author Ta-Nehisi Coates put it during a Q&A a couple of months ago.
When you're white in this country, you're taught that everything belongs to you. You think you have the right to everything. So here comes this word that, you feel like you invented. And now somebody will tell you how to use the word that you invented. Why can't I use it? Everyone else gets to use it. You know what? That's racism that I don't get to use it. That's racist against me. How come I can't sing along? You know what I mean? And I think, for white people, I think the experience of being a hip-hop fan and not being able to use the word nigga is actually very, very insightful. It will give you just a little peek into the world of what it means to be black.
Now, I tend to agree with him, but we need to know your thoughts on this. Let us know in the comments. Let's take a look at what else is trending on social media. The author Philip Roth has died. He was 85. He won nearly every literary award worth winning during his career. His work includes American Pastoral and I Married a Communist. People have been taking to Twitter to pay tribute, and he's the top trending hashtag worldwide all day. The hashtag Mute R. Kelly campaign wants the singer to be held to account for decades of alleged sexual abuse. And now he's being sued over one of those allegations. 20-year-old Faith Rogers says she was 19 when she met the musician and accuses him of abusing her while telling her he'd help her singing career. And a sinkhole has been spotted on the lawn of the White House, leading the internet to make loads of jokes about draining the swamp. But the really funny thing is that a sinkhole opened up at President Trump's other house in Florida, Mar-a-Lago. And here's the best bit: it happened on the same day last year, the 23rd of May. Coincidence? All right, let's take you to London now. There have been some powerful words on the first day of the public inquiry into how a high-rise tower block caught fire and killed more than 70 people.
So this was our little star, Logan Gomez. His due date was on the 21st of August, but instead he was born on the 14th of June. So peaceful, so restful. He looked like he was just sleeping, as babies do. You know, at that moment, we felt like our hearts had broken. But at least we were able to hold him and to be with him.
Of course, it's Ramadan and millions of people around the world are observing the holy month of fasting during daylight hours. But in Tunisia, there are some who are fighting for their right to eat. Take a look at this.
وقفة tout simplement على الحرية tout simplement اللي كل واحد حر في نفسه bien sûr وكل واحد يتحمل مسؤولية أفعاله وكل واحد بركة بشي حاسبه اللي هو ربي.
حرية حرية دولة علمانية.
Let's take you around the world. Some other stories you need to know this Wednesday. Saudi women will be allowed to drive from tomorrow, but another 3 activists who were part of the movement that led to the change in the law have now reportedly been detained. That brings the number to 10, 7 women and 3 men. And what the Saudi government says is an investigation into foreign entities aiming to destabilise and harm the kingdom. Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un's historic meeting is now in doubt, but it hasn't stopped this commemorative coin, from being minted in the US. Now, it's a bit premature, as it's getting increasingly unlikely that the meeting will happen, but maybe President Trump is just trying to create a bit of a buzz. Remember, he was a reality TV star. Now, the guy with the long hair is Michael Rotondo, and he's just been evicted from the house he shared with his parents. He's 30 years old and unemployed, and moved back in with them 8 years ago. Since then, he's refused to leave, so his parents, Mark and Christina, took him to court. The judge ruled in their favour, but Michael says he's going to appeal. All right, let's take you back to some music now. And Tamina has been looking at sampling, and though you think it may have started with hip-hop, you may be surprised by its first uses.
Do you recognise this song? If you guessed Drake's Hotline Bling, you're technically wrong.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night when you need my love.
Can you tell the difference? The melody used in Hotline Bling was taken from Timmy Thomas' Why We Can't Live Together. This is called music sampling, where parts of one song are reworked and mixed into another sound. It could be as simple as using one song's drumline for another, or even using an entire verse. Artists like Dr. Dre and Kanye West are well known for sampling.
Now you know you in trouble, ain't nothing but a G-thing, baby.
But this practice dates back decades, all the way to the 1940s, in a genre known as musique concrète, where musicians recorded sounds of daily life objects and integrated them into their music. Fast forward to the 70s and 80s, hip-hop used live mixing and vinyl manipulation to recreate new sounds. But sampling comes with some legal problems, like this song by Robin Thicke featuring T.I. and Pharrell's song called Blurred Lines.
Everybody get up.
The song turned into a high-profile copyright case. A federal appeals court upheld a $5.3 million judgment against the artist for copying a Marvin Gaye song. Miley Cyrus was also accused of using lines for We Can't Stop from a song in 1988 by a Jamaican songwriter. But music sampling isn't all bad. It breathes new life into old hits and lets you reconnect with old beats and discover music that you may have never heard, including foreign music. Spotify even has playlists where you can listen to hits from artists and various songs that sampled them. So next time you hear a hit song, don't be surprised if it comes from somewhere else.
And on Wednesday's Animals Doing Stuff, there's a dog called Fred in the UK who's become a father. And why should you care? Well, he's taken on 9 kids that are not of his species. Now, the staff at this castle in Essex say that Fred has taken to fatherhood like a duck to water. He's 10 years old, and proof you can teach an old dog new tricks. Sorry about those jokes. That's all from the NewsFeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. I'm at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again tomorrow.